This is Lost in Electronics. We're going to have a video today on how to SSH into our unified Dream Machine Pro. Today's video, we're going to go through on how to update the unit here by using the standard Debian commands that this is based off of. So what we're going to do here is first thing we want to do here is we need to get into the we'll need to get into the unified OS shell. So we need to type in unified-os-shell and hit enter. This is going to show us how the root access here. It tells us we're root, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead and do sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get upgrade. It's going to pull from the Debian sources and make sure we got the proper version here. If you do have any kind of updates, we're going to talk to update it, so we're going to go ahead and click onto yes. It's going to take a few minutes for this to update the software here. It's going to take a few moments to run the script here, so it's going to take a few minutes when this is updating. We're updating the Python libraries, and we're updating all the libraries here. Looks like it is up to date here, so it'll take a few minutes here, and we're going to go ahead and make sure everything's still working here. So let's go back to, let's go ahead and log in the local page and make sure everything is still working here. And it definitely is here. We got everything up to date. Our software is there. We got the correct versions and everything's there, so our software is up to date. Tells us our event logs, tells us all your devices here. Looks like our Wi-Fi and everything's still there. And looks like everything is back up and where everything is running properly here. And you can tell we just did an update. Here tells you the lease number and tells you where it's pulling the images from, the security, make sure that everything's up to date here. And then it tells you where a lot of sources are from each of those, what sketch is pulling from or what version the operating system pulls from. Here's all the Python 3 libraries it updates here. So we'll just go ahead and place this pickup over here. It's fine. We'll use it where the closest I can find here to where I'm at is going to be, we'll use that time zone here. If you want to show here, here's all the file directories. If you want to look at right here here's all the directories you can actually use. If you want to go into, you can always cd into whatever data is here. Here's all the file directories. want to go and see here, let's go ahead and look at our logs here. And if you want to look at the logs, you can go into say cat. Here is all the logs here from to be able to that it actually uses here for the logs here. This is the log of what's been going on in the background, so you can definitely take a look at the touch the MongoDB database here. And if you want to look at the server log, we can also go to the other option we can also do here is go to cat server.log. This tells you what's going on in the background of all the logs of what's been going on in the background here on the system. So it's going to take a while for everything to start showing up here, so it'll take a few moments. These are all the logs. If you want to look at all the directories, you can definitely look at here, and you can also tell us here. And then if you want to go and let's go ahead and see what this is here. If you want to look at the local logs, you just go ahead and do the same thing here, cat. Here's all the local logs. Here's it tells us all our information here with ports and keys and pulls us from where it's disconnected and all the devices here. Clear. If you want to look at anything here, we can always go back, CD again. I'm going to go look at our run here. We can go to LS and A. Here's all our running. Here's a JSON. Here is so there is a couple different things you can be able to pull through here. So if you want to go and here's all our there's another directory. We can always go here. If you want to go back to the directories, go to CD and then dot. Then we go ahead and dash A if you want to see anything here. Here's all our firmware and our information here, and those are there. So this is where your backups are here. So you want to go to backup, just go to backup dot there here and ls.a. There is our unifi controller. If you want to use some we can also do this here. And this will tell us here. Here's all our indexes and here's all our information here about this. If you want to go in here, you can also go in there. We can. So you can also take a look at here, and they do have a list of all our So if you want to keep it, you can always go back to any other kind of directory if you want to see all your directories again here. And whatever kind of directory you want to go to, let's go ahead and look at our home. Want to make sure I spell it right, of course. There's nothing in the home directory. Let's look at the etc. Here's all the files in the etc, and if you want to go again, we can go and look up whatever you want to be able to do. You can run, this is run in Python, so again, if you want to run Python scripts or whatever you want to be able to run, you could technically be able to do that. It does have a list of, here's our password directories, here's where everything's stored at from that portion of it here. There's our LDAP server, there's our email and information, there's our Chrome's tabs, there's our Java, so this is where are some of there. So again, we can definitely look at different, if you want to know different aspects of this here. Same thing if you want to know, like for example, if you want to go and pull up our lib, we can also do that here. There's the same things, and these are all the, there's all our other services are stored out here. Let's go ahead, and again, we can always go to whatever directory you want to look at here. Look at var, there, here. And then whatever you want to look into var, let's go ahead and go look in the logs here. And if you want to know, like, hey, this is what, let's go ahead and look at some of our logs here. Let's go ahead and go to cat. And then you can go to, if you want to look at our, what apps we have installed here, we go with this A. Here's our history of our logs here. So if you want to look at that, we can just go cat, history logs. There's what's been updated recently. Want to go look at the free switch, we can just go to, or we can go to CD and the free switch. And then if you want to see what's on the free switch, let's go ahead and look at our logs. So again, we just go ahead and type cat free switch .log. Here's the log of our free switch here. Let's go through it. Tells you all what's running here. Spanning tree. Here's free switch. If you want to look at everything that is running here. If we want to look at, we can look at anything we want on here. So let's go ahead and just look at. So that we can go here. Let's look at last log. Okay, CD last log. You don't see anything here. This is not a directory, so let's try to cat the file here. There's nothing in it. How about we go to MongoDB, SLAS, and there we go, the Mongo log. So let's go ahead and go to cat. There's nothing in that log. Let's go ahead and dot. There is our MongoDB where it's storing. Here's the data, and here's all the information running. And then if you want to go and look at anything, we can go here. Let's go ahead and go to cd w temp. Okay, this is not a directory. Let's cat w temp. Those are all the logs and the reboots and information here. Let's go ahead and go to cd unified base. Let's see what's on there. Then we're going to go ahead and go ls-a. Oh, there's a lot of our base logs here. So if you want to see what they're here, we go to get in cat unified logs. Tells you where all the monitoring, where the HTTP app is. It has listed the servers. The Java, it goes and tells you where the servers and what's being run in the background. And again, if you want to be able to do a cat here, we can go cat base dot here. You can also, since I installed now, you can import, if you want to install a program, all you have to do is go and sudo app-get, and then you can type in the name of the program. And I don't have protect or anything out. I don't use protect right now or talk, but you can also do here. So if you want to be able to do that, we could also go in there. Here, let's go ahead and go into cd-btmp. It's not a directory, so let's cat that. There's nothing in that log here to be able to look at, so we're going to go ahead and go to cd dot dot. So if you want to look at local, we can go ahead and go to local. There's nothing there, so if we had anything there, you'd see the logs here. Let's go ahead and go to So let's go ahead and go to here. Let's go ahead and go to CD. It's cron, trans, mail, server, those information's there. So the next thing we're going to do here, let's go ahead and take a look at our media here. So we're going to go to CD, media, ls-a. There's nothing in that directory. CD. And then if you want to go to user, let's go ahead and go to user, ls-a. And then we're going to go ahead and go to cd.bin. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. Here's all our directories that's into that based off that user. App-get, app keys. We have a list of all those here, so we're going to go ahead and clear. So here's all our Node-RED stuff. If you want to go ahead and use there, you can actually look at them and look at the platform here. Or you can go here. If you want to cat something, we can do that here. So let's go to cat. Tells us the programming here. go cd.x11 cat x11. Make sure capital in here is fine, because we're gonna make sure that here. So let's go ahead and go to cd, go cat. Here's the program for how it pulls the inquiries. Sorry again about these. Sorry again here. We're going through different directories here. Here's our code here. Again, we went too far back here, but again, we can always, if you want to go back to any run command, we can also do this here. So here's the OpenSSH Python 3. It shows you what every user's using the programs here. So let's go ahead and just go to so again, we can pull it if you want to pull system. We have system here. So again, these are our different ones here. We can go to cd.etc_host. So environments, host configuration. If you ever want to read here, we can go and mark here. Here is the real chip number if you want to be able to read it. Here's the driver here for this. Here is the driver for your wireless card that's built into. So they're using the RT2860 chipset on the wireless. So we can go and let's go ahead and click on, let's look at the next one of the other things we can look at here. So we can look at the defaults. We can look at package releases. We can be able to look at profiles. Let's go ahead and CD. Let's go ahead and do profile. Directory. So if you don't want a directory, let's go ahead and cat it. There's a code for different profiles. CD. Let's go ahead and try to. Here's all the services information here and where it's located at. Here's all the ports and stuff everyone, basically this one's using. Here's all the ports for a different remote user for different parts of the remote system here. There's port 53, domain name services. So these are the port configurations here for your firewall. So let's go ahead and go to cat. Okay, so it tells us our different protocols here that we have connected to the Ethernet. Now we want to look at our, let's go ahead and go cat a. Let's go ahead and cat here. Here's the running directories where everything's stored, and here's the program for it. Containers. So we're going to go ahead and just do a cd dot. You want to see what daemon services are available? We can go again, go to cat. Here's what uses IPv6. Here's our domains. Here is our publish controllers. Here is the DNS addresses it uses for configurations. Here is the servers it picks up. Okay, so those are examples of the files that it basically tells you where this is by the default license and use them for the test for the local pages. So CD, let's go ahead and pour board information. Let's go ahead and cat. Here's our board information here. What firmware version it has, the hardware version. So if you want to look at there, we can also look at environment, or we can cat environment if you don't want to see if you can be able to do anything, because it tells you what type of directory it is. So it does give us a lot of information here on what we're using here. tells us what version, tells us the Debian support, tells us if you have any bugs, tells you what we're actually using, which you're using Linux 9 stretch with we're using Debian is what we're currently using, and the version is Debian stretch. Tells us what kind of support we need here. So these are always getting to the end of this video here. Pretty much we SSH into every directory, services, system, user, var. So this is the kind of the backbone of the system you're having. If you want to restart the system, type in restart. And if you don't remember the number command, I do have a great form here. You want to restart the shell, all you'd have to do is go unifi restart shell. Like this here. First we need to get out of this access here. Now we can go in here and run it. Now it's going to stop the shell and restart the system here, and then it's going to reload it. So if you do have any problem with getting the GUI, this allows you to stop services and reestablish it. If you have anything, so again, if you want to ever run into a problem, you can always go. The nice thing about it, you can always get back to what you need to do here. And if you ever need to restart it, just click on to if you have a problem with the GUI, you can always go into the restart the services here. If you want to see what's running here, we can go to ifconfig, and it allows us to see which ports are switched over here. Or I think we can also run as a great command is ARP. This shows us everything connected to the ARP table here. So you want to see here, here's the loss in the router. Here's my Xbox. There's my Samsung TV. Tells you where it's connected to here. Tells us I have if you want to go ahead and tells us if you want to, we want to ping and make sure something's up here. We can very easily do that here. Go and type in ping, and then if it was up, it would tell you that you can be able to see it here. It's another way you can SSH into it. It tells you the directories. reboot here, you can also do this here. So you reset your connection here for your operating system there, and then allows you to here. Right now the system's rebooting, so it's going to take a few minutes for everything to come back up here. And it's going to be the end of this video here.